So to determine the guilt or innocence of the suspect that we are holding, we decided to have a trial. It's the only fair thing to do, so with the cast entirely of the Hamptons, we bring you Miss Virginia.
I'm not guilty.
Would you please sit down for a minute? Thank you. Think back with me for a minute to the 1970s. There was a TV show, and it was hosted by a comedian named Flip Wilson. Flip Wilson had characters like Geraldine. Remember Geraldine? He also had a scene where he was a judge. And when he came on the scene as a judge, he had an introduction, and I want you all to help me with the introduction. So I'm going to put my mic down for just a second. I want you to help me with a rhythm type clap, okay? When I do this, that means stop. So we're going to do a rhythm type clap, and when we do that, then we'll just go from there. So everybody ready? Here we go. Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. Order in the courtroom. Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. Order in the courtroom. Here comes the judge. We did that far.
Everyone who is able, please stand. I ordered it quiet in the courtroom. The City of Tyler, Texas Municipal Court of the Hamptons at Greenridge is now in session with Judge Monica presiding. You may be seated. I have one thing to add. Tonight, everyone will be taking their oaths on the Reverend Book of the Hamptons.
Bailiff, bring Dr. Albright forward.
Dr. Albright. We're going before the judge.
I'm not guilty.
Bailiff, let me see Dr. Albright's rap sheet.
Just a moment.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's see. Dr. Albright, I see you've been hugging and kissing all the ladies at the Hamptons. Well, I don't guess that's a crime. So,
That's pretty good.
Dr. Albright, you've been accused of stealing Miss Virginia's clothes. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Take your seat, Mr. Albright. You may call your first witness, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Your Honor. My first witness is Don Alfred.
Bailiff, please swear in Mr. Alfred.
Mr. Alfred, please place your left hand on the Book of the Hamptons. Raise your right hand. Don Alfred, do you swear on the Book of the Hamptons to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely. Scout honor, all fair.
Thank you, Mr. Alfred. You've been telling people that you saw Miss Virginia in the pool last Tuesday night. Did you?
Yes.
Was she wearing any clothes?
No. Miss Virginia goes skinny dipping every night. And I've got a little pair of binoculars.
That's enough. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Where were you? Where were you when you saw Miss Virginia?
Oh, and there's a little hedge out there, you know, and I got down behind that hedge and I cut some little holes there to where I could take the binoculars and pull it up real close to me. I like Miss Virginia.
Just clarifying, why were you in the hedge?
To watch her. She needs my protection. I mean, there's a lot, yeah.
I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty.
Dr. Albright, please contain yourself. I don't want to hear any more of your outbursts from you,
I
please.
don't either.
Your witness, Miss Defense Attorney.
Mr. Alfred, did you see anyone taking Virginia's clothes?
Well, no, I didn't, you see, but I was watching Miss Virginia, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to her, so I just wanted to keep her safe. I didn't see anything else.
Oh. Well, did you see Dr. Albright near the pool?
Like I said, if he was there, I didn't see him, but I sure didn't want to look for him. I had enough time and privilege of doing what I went out there each night to do.
And you heard the water splashing and out there, that's how you knew she was swimming?
Well, you know, I just knew that Miss Virginia was okay because there wasn't anybody near her, or I would have seen them. But I don't care about the water splashing. I just want to watch Miss Virginia. I'm so crazy about her.
Okay, that's enough, Mr. Alford. Bailiff, will you please swear in Miss Jewell, please?
Thank you, Mr.
Mrs. Jewell Barnes, would you please place your left hand on the book of Hamptons, raise your right hand. Jewell Barnes, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Well, you're just not going to believe what I saw yesterday. I'm telling you all these things that's going on around here. Oh, excuse me. Did you know that I heard Grace talking to some man every night this week?
Well, do you think maybe it was her son?
No, it wasn't. You don't say things like that to a son. I think she's in love.
Miss Jewell, did you see Virginia's clothes on the chair?
Well, yes, I didn't know she takes her clothes off and goes spinning dipping every evening. Yes, she does that every day. Now, what's the matter with you old people? Do you not know the things that's going on around here?
Jewell, did you see anyone take her clothes off the chair at the pool?
No, I didn't, but I did see that she didn't have anything to wear home when she came out of the pool. She didn't have anything to put on. She didn't even have a towel. There's just too much going on around here.
Thank you, Jewell. Your witness.
Miss Jewell, did you see who took Virginia's clothes?
Miss Virginia was running to the back. Everybody was looking for them.
Well, Miss Jewell, did you see Dr. Albright in the area of the pool?
No, not really. I didn't really see him. Everyone was driving around.
Dr. Albright, Albright, we've had enough from you.
Yeah, I'm,
Oh, okay.
Dr. Albright, you may sit down now. We've had enough from you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. I stand down now.
You can stand up and say Ed Benelli.
and now, next. Ed Benelli, yeah. Let me just thank you.
Your Honor, I would like to call Miss Mary Ann Landon to the stand, please.
Right now. I'm not guilty. I think Ed
Dr. Albright, that's
Benelli.
enough.
Ed Benelli
Sit
did
down.
it. Benelli did it.
Dr. Albright, we've had enough from you. Bailiff, will you please swear in Miss Ann Lathier?
Will you please?
I just put in here.
Speak loud enough.
I just put
Speak up.
Mrs. Mary Ann Lanthier, will you please raise your right hand? Yes. Do you swear that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as you hold your hand on this revered book of the Hamptons?
Yes, I do.
Here you go.
The microphone's not working. Go ahead. Have a seat, please.
Okay.
Miss Mary.
Well,
Yeah.
my name's Mary Ann Lanthier. I live in the cottages. I don't think you all know what goes on over in our world. It's a completely different thing over here in the cottages. I mean, in the apartment.
Thank you for that information. Appreciate it.
Miss
Mary-
Lathier, do you mind speaking into the mic so that the other people can hear
I
you,
don't
please?
think it's working. Yes, it is. Okay,
That's right.
yes.
Okay. Were you at the Hamptons pool the night in question?
Yes?
Thank you, Miss Mary Ann. Did you happen to see who took Miss Virginia's clothes?
No, I didn't. By the time I got there, Miss Virginia was in a state of hysteria, and I couldn't see very well. It was getting dark. But there's a lot of things going on around here you people are not aware of. Every evening, I go out and feed a herd of deer. My cottage backs up to the woods, and I feed, well, just the deer. This one night that I was out, Miss Neva, who is, well, I think she's a neighbor, and she also does security for us in the cottages. Well, we were out, and we were feeding the deer, and we saw some different prints. Footprints. Usually I see the deer footprints, but this was a great big footprint. I think it actually was Bigfoot. So we followed the prints around, and we came up around to the pool, and there were prints there. I wouldn't have believed it. I have seen everything come out of the woods except Bigfoot, but there's no denying those big footprints.
Miss Mary Ann, do you know that Don Alfred wears a size 17 shoe?
I'm a long-time nurse. Do you think I wouldn't know the difference in what a footprint made by a retired Methodist minister looks like, and what a footprint that belongs to a half human, a half animal person?
Thank you, Miss Mary Ann.
Give me a break.
You're excused.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, get it.
I didn't do it.
Dr. Albright, that does it.
I
have told you
didn't
to
do it.
hunt.
I didn't do it.
Sit down now. Now. I have told you, order in this court, sit,
Yes,
please.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I'd like to call Mr. Loretta to the stand.
Bailiff, will you please swear Miss Loretta in?
Please raise your right hand. Mrs. Loretta Osma, do you swear on the Book of the Hamptons to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Miss Loretta, did you see Dr. Albright take Miss Virginia's clothes?
No, I did not. You know, Dr. Albright is a really nice man, and everybody here loves Dr. Albright. Well, you know, I even had a little kiss and a little hug from Dr. Albright. And everybody thought, oh my goodness, but he is so nice.
I'd just like to remind you, we're not here to discuss Dr. Albright's good character or anything else. We're here to discuss the theft of clothes and not skinny dipping.
Well, what's all this business about skinny dipping? I just came to the Hamptons and I saw that pool. Well, I thought to myself, I'm gonna go swimming now. Well, all I could find in my house was this 50-year-old moth-bitten suit with stockings. Well, I wasn't about to put that on. So I decided the only alternative would be to skinny dip. And oh, I felt so alive. I felt like the birds were soaring in the air. Now, I go skinny dipping now every morning at 7 o'clock. And that's before most of you are up. And I have never had my clothes stolen. And you know, I heard the other day.
Who's going to steal that?
I heard the other day that Dot and Gert want to join me. And so, that's enough of that. Have you ever been skinny dipping, Mr. Wilson?
I haven't done anything skinny in 5 years. That will be all, Mr. Loretta. Thank you. Your Honor, I would like to call Miss Virginia to the stand, please.
Bailiff, will you please swear Miss Virginia?
Please place your left hand on the Book of the Hamptons, raise your right hand. Miss Virginia Brown, do you swear that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
You don't have to stand up. You can just yell when you're ready.
You French did it. Well, they did.
Your Honor, can we gag this witness?
Order, Dr. Albright. Nothing from you again.
Miss Browning, may I call you Virginia?
Please do.
Have you ever been called by a nickname like Virgin?
No.
No, you've never been called Virgin?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I see. Okay. What name do you prefer to be called?
I prefer Virginia.
Thank you. Were you at the Hampton swimming pool the evening in question?
I was.
And what were you wearing?
Nothing.
And where were your clothes?
My clothes were out there on one of those little old lounge chairs. I always put my clothes out there along with the, with a towel and well, I don't need any sunscreen because it's kind of night, it's 7 o'clock at night, but I always put them there. I've never had any trouble before. This is a nice place, I thought.
Was anyone else at the pool?
Not that I could see. Well, maybe somebody was rustling around in the bushes.
Are you aware that Don Alfred made it a habit to be in the bushes and watch you?
Yeah.
Every time you went swimming in your bathing suit?
Yeah, without my bathing suit, yeah.
In your birthday suit?
Yeah, in my birthday, yeah. He does that. I've been knowing that for a long time, but he's harmless. Don't worry about him.
Thank you, Virginia. What is your relationship with the defendant, Dr. Charles Albright?
Oh, we have a real good relationship. When I moved here about 6 months before he did it, he moved in right across the hall from me. And we became very good friends, very good friends.
Has Charles Albright ever seemed unusually interested in you?
Absolutely. Oh yes,
Well, for example, did he invite you to dinner, ask you for a date, or even tell you he was in love with you?
Well, all of the above.
All of the above. Okay. Thank you. I
Well,
believe...
now, let me just clarify that. Now, he liked to cook or tried to cook, and he would have me over for dinner a lot, and he did ply me with wine a time or two, and when I went over there, and he does hug me a lot, and every once in a while he kisses me too.
That might be a good reason to steal your clothes.
Well, might be.
Might be. Your Honor, I believe we've established a motive and an opportunity that points to Charles Albright as the perpetrator of this terrible, terrible deed. Your witness.
Miss Virginia, I will remind you you're still under oath.
Okay.
Okay. Miss Virginia, when did you learn your clothes were missing?
When I got out of the pool and went over there to put them on, they weren't there.
Would anyone try to help you?
Well, Glenn Hicks offered me his overcoat, but I wasn't having any of that.
Well, that was a generous offer. Why didn't you accept?
He was still in it.
Miss Virginia, would you tell us how you got from the pool to your apartment?
Ooh, now therein lies a tale.
Okay.
Well, I got started. Well, first off, there I am, nothing, absolutely nothing to put on. So I came up here and got one of those cushions. Those cushions are pretty big, and I kind of put it in front of me, and I came around here to this door right over here, and Harold Connor was in there always working on those puzzles. Okay, I knocked, and I pointed to him, and he said, "Just a minute," and he put another puzzle in. And I stood, and I looked around, and I knew Miss Jewell was probably looking out her window, probably had a pair of binoculars looking at me right then. That really bothered me. But so then I knocked again, and Harold looked up at me, and he said, "Just a minute," and he put another piece in that puzzle. Finally, he came over, and he opened the door for me, and I came in, and all I could see were these tablecloths. Well, I tried the white one, and they it's just so big, it's just hanging everywhere. So I got one of those little green things, and I put it around me, and I started off trying to get to, I live way over there in that building, up on the second floor, way down at the end. So I had a long way to go. So off I go, and wouldn't you know, the first person I met right out there was Ernestine. I don't think she recognized me in the green tablecloth. She's a little bit, her eyesight's not the best. I don't think she recognized me, and I think I got by there all right. Got down there to those swinging doors, and just as I went through, wouldn't you know, they're moving somebody in. The moving people, the people that were coming in. I ran to that couch and got down real low right by the side of it and waited until they went on, and they went on down the hall. So I go sickling on down to the hall, and I made it all nearly right to the elevator, and I thought I've nearly got it made. The elevator opens, and guess what? Nancy was showing some people around. Have y'all ever seen Nancy when she is startled? Her eyes like that. She turned every color of the rainbow, and she hustled those people around, and it scared me so bad. I ran down the hall, and I backed up into a door right there, and evidently George Sierra thought I was knocking on the door, and he opened up the door. Well, that scared me so bad that I turned around and I ran back. By that time, the elevator, we're free. Nearly free. Only Emmett's in there. Now, Emmett was a perfect gentleman. He kept his eyes averted most of the time. So we got up to the second floor. Of course, he and I both got off, and he went that way, and I went that way. And I was nearly in sight of my apartment. I nearly had it made. And I looked up, and here came Todd. Had something in his hand, you know, he was going to work on something. And I went behind that potted plant and kind of hunkered down behind that till he went on by. Then I finally got down to my apartment, and wouldn't you know, that green tablecloth had come off all over me. I have the greenest behind you ever saw in your life. I tell you this, I don't know what this place is coming to. I was always hoping there'd be a little excitement, but I didn't intend to be excitement for them. I didn't mean to entertain everybody with it. I'm just really disappointed in the Hamptons. I really am. I hope you can catch who ever did this.
We're going to catch you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Virginia. Appreciate that. Did you notice there was 5 times during her presentation where she barely escaped?
Your Honor, I do believe I have your perpetrator right here.
I didn't do it. Not guilty.
I didn't do it. I'm not guilty.
Dr. Albright, sit down.
No, I'm not guilty.
Sit down, Dr. Albright.
No.
We have the guilty party here.
I have your evidence, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
You scared me.
Judge Monica, I haven't had the opportunity to see the evidence. I'd like to look at it at this time.
You may.
Thank you.
Oh, look at there. Look at there.
It gets better.
That's not going to cover very much. You don't know how they stand.
Put your handcuffs on that.
That'll fit my head.
He says that'd fit his head. Virginia, you wore these kind of clothes around the outside.
Well, they were always covered up before now.
This is not a very big towel.
Well, evidently I didn't have much to cover up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge Monica, y'all listen good. I don't. This? Yes, ma'am. I would like to say something in my defense.
Go ahead.
I had a little help getting these things.
I can see that.
Miss Virginia was so kind to me, she threw them over the fence to me. And when she threw this part over, the wind caught it, and it was going in circles up there. I chased it around, I stuck my toe over one of those sprinkler heads out there in the back. I fell down, I got muddy,
and I caught it just as it was coming down and landed on my head. I can't get up there now, but anyway, and this just blinded me. I couldn't tell where I was. But anyhow, there's so many people around the pool, and Miss Virginia was trotting up and down. I got scared. So I picked up everything and I tried to take care of it, and I run off. I run to my room and I hid. I locked the door and put her stuff under my bed. And I was going to bring it back, but there's too many people. That's right.
Where you really were.
Uh-huh. Now, you know I've loved you for a long time. You're so pretty.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, Miss Monica, I'll just drop the charges with this sweet man. I can't send him to jail for everything
I
he's
can't
done.
hug you.
Bob Smith, I hope you've learned a lesson in this case. Case closed.
Oh, Charles, congratulations.
Thank you.